If you put the key in the ignition and make a turn but nothing happens, you could be joining a growing number of people lining up at the Ford dealership, unfortunately. And our auto guy, Brian Bowersock of West Escondido Auto, that is here with more on what that problem is and what can be done about it.
Good morning.
Hey, good morning, Brian. So what are people seeing now? It sounds like a big problem that some people are having here.
Actually, the 6.0-liter Ford diesel, which came out in late 2002, 2003, has had a lot of high oil pressure problems. And I had one of our viewers write in to me about
that's how we got this one.
Correct, 2004 Ford F350. When hot, will not start.
At all?
At all. Just cranks and cranks and cranks till he lets it set cold. And what the problem they're having with these is a lot of high-pressure oil problems. Now, that might sound kind of funny, but the high-pressure oil is what controls the fuel injection on these diesels.
Okay.
And they're very difficult if you're not familiar with diesels to diagnose. So it's very important that somebody qualified obviously works on these vehicles.
But it's a trend. It sounds like this is just kind of across the board when it's coming in now. This is probably one of the first things you're looking for.
Correct. I talked to quite a few people. I know quite a few people at the car dealers, and Ford has a backlog of warranty of these, like 2 to 3 weeks for people to get them fixed.
It's going to take a while to get in. And one thing we should point out to people up on the screen is it's so important to go to someone who's qualified, like West Escondido Auto,
correct,
or their dealership, so that they can really pinpoint those things very easily. And otherwise, you can spend thousands of dollars just trying to figure it out.
Well, correct. And this, it's important. There's not a lot of independent facilities that have qualified diesel technicians like we have on staff. And the components, these injectors alone, are over $1,000 a piece.
Oh, wow. So this is going to be an expensive fix.
Correct.
Now, are they things that are warranted? Is that what you were saying by the dealership, though? If
Up to 100,000 miles, but now we're seeing vehicles that are coming out. A lot of these guys use these trucks for work, so they get 100,000 miles on them in 3 to 4
Pretty
years.
fast, yeah.
Yeah, they're out of warranty now, and so they're looking for somebody, obviously, that can take care of them, because to wait on your commercial vehicle for 3 to 4 weeks while it's at the Ford dealer is obviously losing money.
All right, well, I shouldn't be asking this because this isn't the smart thing to do, but since there is such a long wait, and if people can't get it into West Escondido Auto, if you can't get it in, do you just let it cool down and then it's going to start right up?
If you let it cool down, it will start back up.
Okay.
The problem is every time you shut it off hot, you have this problem with it. And there is quite a procedure we go through to diagnose these, to verify, to make sure where the oil leak is, as far as it can be in the oil feed tube, in the high injection pump. On the earlier ones had O-ring problems, so we actually do an oil pressure test on them, test them electronically with a scanner, and then we actually do an air pressure test to find out where it's escaping from, so that the leak is pinpointed and we can fix just that component.
So how hot does it have to get, for instance, if you just drive, 15 minutes to the store, you get out to do some grocery shopping, you get back in, is it already going to be an issue?
That's usually when it happens. You go down the road to 7-Eleven, you come back out, you got a 20 to 30 minute wait, or sometimes longer, depending on how warm the engine got, until the vehicle will actually restart.
Oh, that's brutal, just when you need it at the very least.
Correct.
And so go ahead and tell us, these are some of the components here, and then you do some sort of scan?
Well, actually, these are fuel injectors. This is a 7.3 liter out of the earlier Ford, which is a bigger injector, and this is the new 6.0 liter fuel injector. And actually, what they're having problems with, you can see there's a Viton O-ring inside here. Unfortunately, you cannot replace the O-rings in these. When these O-rings blow out, you have to buy a complete injector.
Because before, the O-rings were minimal cost, right?
Correct, correct. Now, these are oil feed tube O-rings, and you can see these often have a problem too. But if it's an injector O-ring problem, you have to replace the whole injector. There's no supply for the O-rings themselves.
So real quickly, give us some idea of what this will cost to repair if it's not covered under warranty.
Roughly, usually the bill's anywhere $1,500 to $2,000 if there's an injector problem. If it's just an oil feed tube problem, then usually under $1,000.
All right, still an expensive fix over the holiday season.
Absolutely.
All right, well, thanks for letting us at least now know what the problem is, so people will know. Just let it cool down, go do another round of shopping, come back, and hopefully by then you'll be able to start up.
I recommend to get it addressed, though, because it is possible it's going to get worse.
All right. Well, thanks for that information. If you have a car question for Brian, just drop him an email. The link is on our website at fox6.com. Just click on to Hot Topics.